What's happening? What's going on? Part of my presence YouTube channel. I want to do a year in review and do a wrap up. I want to make this very quick, but I want to say this, okay? 2023 went by so quickly. A lot of people got caught up in social media antics and fake skits and drama. A lot of people weren't really paying attention as to what was going on as far as your money not being worth the same amount anymore because the cost of living has gone up, taxes have gone up, gas has gone up, groceries, food has gone up, cars, the price of cars have gone up, crime has increased, the police budget keeps going up. They always find money for a police budget, but not for any social services and community services to help people who are in need of help. Food banks and food services that's there for the poor and the homeless, they can't keep their shelves stocked with food. There's so much shit going on in the world, and a lot of it we're letting it pass by. Do you know what's going on in the Middle East? Do you know what's going on in South America? Do you know what's happening in Guyana, where Venezuela is trying to take over Guyana and invade Guyana because Guyana found oil on their land, and we know that Venezuela is a shit of a country, and they pretty much fucked up the whole economy. So now they're looking for oil and ways to colonize other places, and they're going after Guyana. Are you aware of that? How many people realize what's happening, the climate that's going on in this world? The conflict in Sudan, the situation that's happening in certain West African countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, what else? There's a bunch of them that were pretty much connected to France, because France was pretty much the colonizer country of some of those countries there, because a lot of those people, they speak French. Ivory Coast is one of them as well too, where they've band together to say no, they're no longer letting France rape their riches, their culture, their resources, and they're going to work together. So you have all these things happening in the world. Are people aware of it? Do you see this? Or are you focusing on drama between men and women? Are you focusing on who's paying for the first date and whether or not the Cheesecake Factory is the best place to go for a first date? You ever think about inheritance? You ever think about what's going to happen when you pass away? All your life work that you put in, the countless hours at your job, and what you've amassed, is that going to go to your seeds? Is that going to go to your loved ones? Do you even have loved ones to pass things on to? Are those things that come up in your daily conversations with other people? Is that something that you guys are talking about? Are you planning ahead? Do you have life insurance? Are you making sure that when you die, you're not a burden to your family members as far as having to bury you? Are you going to need a GoFundMe account or a campaign to get people to actually bury you with dignity? These are the things that I need people to pay attention to and make sure that your shit is straight and is in order. Right? And again, I'm not saying this to talk down on anyone. I'm not saying this like I'm preaching, but I'm saying this as in what's the real main focus for what people are trying to do? What are people focusing on and spending their time on? Are you working on making sure that your life improves and gets better and maintains locked in step with how the world is going? Because things are getting more expensive. The cost of living, gas, all that stuff is getting more expensive. Interest rates rising, getting more expensive. Are you learning about real estate? and shit's happening in real estate. I'm in Canada. Real estate is going to the shits. People bought a whole bunch of houses. They're over leveraged. They can't afford the mortgage payments. What do? They try to pass it on to renters, but the renters can't afford that shit. Then what happens to all of that money that they can't afford as far as pay the mortgage? Now they have to sell, and the market's not good, so they're selling at a loss. You have people who go into property as a couple, but not as a married couple, but as a common law couple. And then one decides, you know what, I'm not dealing with this, I'm gone. and the one person has to deal with the interest rates and the payments, and they go bankrupt, or now they're in situations. So you have a whole bunch of issues that are happening that people are dealing with. Don't even get me started on immigration and how that's affecting people's livelihood and people's value in regards to how they live their lives, and just how they spend their quality time within the countries that they live in. There's so much shit that's going on in the world, and I don't want it to be sidetracked by who bought the computer for the other child in the relationship, and who got the most gifts, and who is the next person to get out of the Me Too, and who didn't come forward fast enough in regards to sexual assault cases and allegations. 2023 was a distraction to the highest degree. And I think all you guys could agree with me on that. It was a distraction. I was distracted. I got so distracted that I decided to come off social media, and I disappeared for a while because I realized that it's too much. I don't want to deal with skits and talk about skits anymore. I don't want to deal with because they're fake. Cheesecake Factory, fake. All of those dates that they disappeared on me, I don't know what happened, fake. A lot of the clips that you see on social media and the way that you talk about it, they do it because they're trying to get attention. They're trying to get clicks and views. It's a business. It's a business. And they quickly realize that what's happening on social media is all for the purposes of gaining notoriety, attention, clicks, views. And understand that the new currency is attention. Then you start to realize what's happening and why things are happening the way that they're happening. All these blogs on social media, the way how they post things to get people upset and angry and leave comments, it's done purposefully because they know the more engagement that they get, the more they're able to sell or increase their rates for advertising, the more they're able to show that their numbers show that their followers engage with their content. It's visible and they stay on the content. They leave a whole bunch of comments. It's all metrics. So for 2024, I know my goal is not to get upset, not to get riled up on the next woman who says that a Cheesecake Factory is not a good date, or the next woman that says you need to pay for me and my friends and my mama if you want to get some between my legs. Next time a man says I'm not going to take care of my kids because I don't know if those kids are mine. The next man who talks about women are trying to trap men in child support. If you haven't found out that you could get a vasectomy and prevent all of that, if you haven't found out you could wear a condom and prevent all of that, if you haven't found out you could get married and have one woman and be faithful to that one woman and prevent any of that, I don't know what to tell you, my dude. I don't know what to say. So again, a lot of frustration in what I'm saying, but again, what I'm saying is correct. And how appropriate or apropos, I'm showing you my education here, right? How apropos was it that Dr. Umar or the Joe Budden podcast ended the year with Dr. Umar interview? That was a great interview, by the way. A lot of information was given, but a lot of people were against it. A lot of people criticized not what he was saying, but him. A lot of ad hominem attacks. Oh, where's the school? You're not a good father. You have kids. You're taking care of your kids. You're not a scholar. He's racist. All these different things that were being said. But mind you, let me tell you something. There's people like Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Sam Bankman-Friedman. I could go on and on of all these other fraudsters, grifters, in other cultures or other races. Joe Rogan, the flat earthers, all these people who are admired, who are propped up to be some type of godly figure. Meanwhile, Where's the underground transportation in LA that Elon Musk was supposed to create? Warren Buffett didn't become a millionaire until he was well into his senior years. Elon Musk didn't create Tesla. He just became the CEO, but it was not his vision. It was not his genius that created it. But they're all propped up and they're given legitimacy, and no one questions it. No one knows the backstory. But someone like Dr. Umar, you question it. Mind you, you might be more familiar with Dr. Umar because you've heard about him and you've seen his videos previously. But maybe that should tell you something. Maybe you should be more in tune with what's happening, not just in your circle, not just within your culture or your race, but the world. And see that there's been many grifters of other races that have been killing it. Billions of dollars in fraudulent activity. It's not DJ Envy. Nothing but a bucket. A drop in a bucket compared to other people. Don't get me started on that white woman with blonde hair and the big eyes and the deep voice who scammed a whole bunch of people as well too through her fake medical company. There's so many of them. But everybody wants to talk down on Dr. Umar. I know I have in the past, but that was more because of the school. Because I don't think that school is going to start. It may or may not. I don't know. But I like Dr. Umar because of what he says in his ideology and the fact that here he is as a confident, articulate man who speaks with conviction. And he's saying the right things when it comes to inheritance. And when it comes to taking care of black children. I agree with him wholeheartedly. Whether or not I feel he's doing his own work, or whether or not he's just a man who talks, it doesn't matter. The point is, I can act. I can be present in my own children's lives. I can practice what he preaches. I don't need him to practice what he preaches. I can be inspired by his words. He doesn't have to do anything. Because that might not be his best skill set. But guess what? My best skill set and my asset is to my own family. And if I could take what he says and visualize the fact that, you know what? I need to have life insurance. I need to make sure that my children are well taken care of in case something happens to me. Well, not even in case. Something is going to happen to me at some point. We're all going to die. So I got to make sure I'm planned for that. I got to make sure that my inheritance is given to my children. I got to make sure the money stays within my family. That was his message. That's his point. And I think those things are valid and should be discussed. It's not about racism. It's not about bigotry. It's about whether or not you are going to make sure that you take care of your family and that your family is good and that you're not having the money that you spent your life's work building falling by the wayside. Because that's really what it's about. So it's nothing to do about Vanessa Bryant and those things. It has to do with Vanessa Bryant's mother, who tried to take and stake claim to Kobe Bryant's millions. It's about that. So again, for 2024, leave the skits in 2023. Don't come to me with outraged skits about who's going on the first date, who's going on the second date, or how many dates you need to get before you have sex with someone. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't. And hopefully I don't have to make any videos about those subjects anymore. I don't want to. I don't. But again, take it easy for 2024. Happy New Year. All the best to everyone. Don't get riled up. Don't let this, bust a brain vessel or give you an aneurysm. Give you a heart attack, give you high blood pressure. Don't let those things happen. Treat it for what it's worth. Yes, it's entertainment, but also it's a business. And they run it as a business. And understand why they're running it the way that they're running it. And then you can let things fall by the wayside and not let it get you upset. Right? So that's what I want to say for the wrap-up video of 2023. And all the things I want to leave behind, and all the things I need to be aware of and prepared for in 2024. Be careful. Guard your spirit, guard your mind, guard your energy, and treat people the way that you want to be treated. And don't talk down on your own race or your own people or your own culture, especially if you don't know that there are other cultures who are just as bad, who are just as flawed, who have just as many scammers and grifters. Have pride in yourself. Have pride in your people. Focus on the good things, the positive things, the accomplishments in 2023, not the negatives. You let me know how you feel about that message. You let me know in the comment section. Until next time, part of my presence YouTube channel. Next move, best move for 2024. Let's go.